My name is Marco Coello. I am an architect and urban designer, and I am a founding partner at C Cúbica Architects and Design Week Mexico since 1990. This is a 375 square feet studio with very high ceilings, as you can see. We have a nice view and a nice window to the beautiful street lined with trees in the Upper West Side, which is one of my favorite parts of the city in New York. I was always very interested in the way Chapter works. They're very up to date in the way they communicate with their clients. They have an app. It's very easy to have a good communication. Being an architect in my space, I was a very particular client, so I didn't see myself as a client. I saw it more like a collaboration, a teamwork, which was very, very important to me. So I felt very comfortable throughout the project, and the result speaks for itself. It was very important to renovate the space with the idea of creating a completely new studio with a different feeling. When you have a small space, every inch counts, so it's very important that you make the right decisions. And every good design is very important in a project. So we started to think of a nice way to incorporate architecture and interior design in a tiny space. The inspiration is Luis Barragan, a Mexican architect, who is like the poet of architecture, very tranquil, very quiet, very zen. So we try to bring that into the space, making it very serene and very clean. The first thing was reclaimed stair. It wasn't properly located, so we moved it to make the flowing easier. And when you enter the studio, you have a view to the window, which is nice, and it helps go up and down the mini loft. So it really helped into making the space more practical. The design was important to edit all the ideas that I had at the beginning and make it very essential. And it was very important to have a space for everything, for sleeping, for leisure, for working, for storage, for cleaning, for cooking, for eating in a tiny space. So that was kind of a challenge, but I think we managed okay in accomplishing that because the space is very practical. We wanted to go with a very clean palette of colors, gray, beige, whites. So it was important that we stuck to those materials. We also wanted to have recycled materials, like we have in the floor, for example, or the rug. And it was important also to blend all together in a timeless way, so it's very architectural. We have a subway tile in the bathroom and the kitchenette. So we try to evoke a little of the city and the context of the city. It's very important that we try to keep it as sustainable as possible. Another issue was having this new space in an old building. This is a pre-war building, so it was very important to keep that in mind, but having a very clean and very unique space once you're inside the apartment. We have two things basically. One is the walls that we have that wrap around the space and make this niche with LED lighting. So we kind of respect the old existing window with a new lighting element, but in an indirect way, so it makes a very nice lighting. And then we have this custom-made wall bed, which has basically everything I need. It has a sofa, there's a bed on it, there's a desk, some shelves, I have a niche and a closet. So it's very easy to have everything in one space. I think that in micro living, it's very important that you keep everything, first of all, functional, but it also has to be nice and clean and beautiful. So you have to keep a balance between both. I think it's very important to keep all the appliances the right size. So we have just 2 drawers for fridge. I don't need a big fridge. So the WC and the new kitchen and bathroom appliances and everything is more cost effective. The LED lighting also makes everything, keep it in a good budget. We went basically with the neutral limestone, white limestone in the floor. We have a beige rug in the mini loft. We have different types of whites, basically, and grayish. We have the white tile in the kitchenette and bathroom, and I wanted to have some accents of blue, which is a very common color for Luis Barragan architecture and Mexican contemporary architecture. So just to have a little pop of color, and the rug also just makes a little contrast with the rest of the space. So these colors kind of help evoke different feelings throughout the day, and it's emotional architecture in a way. This is an old building, a historical Beaux-Arts building in New York City. So for me, it's very important to respect the heritage of the space. But it's also nice to give a new life to the studio, because we live in a complete different area. So it's nice that we can see the brick, we can see the stone in the window, and the buildings, which are fantastic outside, but we keep a more cutting-edge feeling inside the studio. I am most proud of the collaboration and the final result. Working with Chapter was amazing. I think it was great. Not only having a good design, but making it happen. It was important. Having a small space like this was difficult for the logistics of bringing everything in for the demo and all the process. So I'm very happy with the result, but I'm most happy now that I live in it, of how practical it is, and how tranquil and how amazing you feel inside. It's my little piece of New York. I always wanted to have a pied-à-terre in New York. So this is fantastic, this is great. So I think it's a great opportunity for other people to see that co-op studios can become new spaces. And this is an example that can be replicable in other buildings or parts of the city.